Okay, guys. So yeah, now I'm recording. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Pressed got it. It just said recording in progress. I had no idea what that meant.
Right. And I
Okay, sit down.
think I'm gonna have to share the screen then so that it's recorded properly. Hold on. Yes. Yep.
I don't think you have
Okay.
to share the screen from me and teacher or anything.
Okay, guys. So yeah, you can follow in your own screens. It's just
Okay.
that Ritam, I think, is not gonna be able to join today. And yeah, his dad requested that we.
Wait, why do I already have one in my inbox when I already went in?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
let
if
me
if you
press it.
joined, if you're following, then yeah, no worries.
Okay, I pressed it and now it left. I guess you have to press it 2 times to make it leave. That makes
Hmm.
no sense.
Okay, so well, the first thing we're gonna see is the rule of the square. So some of you might have heard of that. It's basically let's say a shortcut that we take to calculate this kind of situations where we have one pawn raising against the enemy's king that is going to try to catch it. Okay, and we're trying to determine whether the pawn will make it and promote, or the king will capture it first. In this case, what do you think is going to happen, guys? Who's going to
I
win
think
that?
he might promote.
Yeah, the pawn will block.
The
I
pawn will
think
promote.
he will.
Okay, the pawn will make it, but only because of a detail. The pawn can move 2 steps, and therefore it gives him like a head start.
Oh, if he wasn't able to move 2 steps, then the king would get it.
That's true. Yeah, we're gonna verify that in a moment. But okay, let's just first test what will happen. Okay, and then I'll explain what is the rule of the square. So as you see, after all the moves, white wins the promotes the pawn, and well, I think you all know how to make the checkmate from here. Takes a while, right? We need to do
King
it
over queen.
the right method, but yeah, we can make a checkmate easily as long as we are a little bit careful. Okay, so we go all the way back. What is the rule of the square? Well, it basically tells us to make a square in your mind. Imagine a square from the place where, once you move the pawn, you make a square from here, for example. You can make the square like counting all the way to the top. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 to the right, and then you complete the square like this, right? Or a faster way to do it would be like going diagonally and then making a square like this, right? So the point is you have made a square that reaches the final rank. Once you do that, let me admit Vian, so he's joining. Let's see. Okay, Vian, hello.
Hello. Hey, can you see me?
Just look it up.
Hi.
Hi. Can you see me?
Not yet. Your camera's off.
I'm eating dinner.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, I've learned about this square. I've learned about the square. If the king is in the square, then he's basically gonna kill you. Like,
That's
go
true.
back to the first. If you go back to the first move, can you quickly do that?
Yeah, so let me explain it here. Once we have this position, we need to see if the king can get
Yeah, I
inside
know
the
what the
square or not,
square is.
right?
I know what the can't get inside the square, and that's a good thing because
Yeah.
it means we're guaranteed to promote.
Exactly. With his move, when he makes his move, he's not going to be able to get inside the square. He's too far, 1 step too far away, and therefore that means the pawn will promote, will make it. Okay. If the king were closer, well, that'd be a different story. Okay.
Or
Now,
if the pawn only moved 1 space, that
of
would be
course,
stupid.
for example, if we
The
move the
king would
pawn
be
1 step,
able to make it in the square.
right now when we make the square, it's gonna look like this, much bigger. And now the king, with his move, will be able to get inside the square, and therefore it will be a draw, right? The king will catch the pawn before it promotes. Well, I guess technically it promotes, but it dies immediately, right? So
And
it
then
is
it's
a
a
draw.
draw because kings can't kill kings.
Right, king versus king is a draw, dead draw. So well, this is an important rule, and a mistake I see some people do is that they make the square from the, like when the pawn is in the second rank, they make the square like this, and they think, oh, look, the king is inside, so that means that the king is going to stop the pawn, so I'm happy with black. Well, they're forgetting that the pawn can move 2 steps and not only one, right?
Which shrinks
that
the
makes a big
box
difference.
2 times.
Exactly. So you have to be careful when the pawn is on the second rank. If you're gonna
I
make the
tried
square
to-
like that, you have to do it like from a little bit up, right? To make it well, basically as if the pawn were here, right? That is the let's say the way to do it here, so that you are safe. Okay, Vian, did you want to say something?
That's why it's always good to have the pawn moving 2 squares instead of 1.
Sure, the pawn should move 2 steps. Well, this rule is very important because it is like the first thing you have to wonder when we see like a king and a pawn fighting against a king. You need to first wonder, well, can the pawn promote by itself? If the answer is yes, because the king is outside the square, then okay, you have already a clear plan. If the answer is no, well, then sometimes you can do other things with your own king and stuff, and we're gonna see that in a moment. Okay, now let's see some other applications of this rule in more difficult situations. Let's say we have this position. Let's analyze it for a second. So we have both 3 pawns, right? White has 3 pawns, black has 3 pawns. Let's see the passed pawns. You know, the passed pawns are the most dangerous ones because they are free in the road to promotion. So there's only one passed pawn at the moment. Who is it?
The black C3
The
pawn.
C3 pawn.
The C3 pawn, right? It's the only passed pawn. Now,
Wait,
it is currently
what?
under control, right? We have the king inside the square, the little square here, which means that if the pawn moves up, we can get and kill it, right? So here, we need to make a choice as white in terms of what our strategy is going to be. We can, we have basically three ideas that we can go for. So one would be pawn to a3, intending to go pawn to b4. When the pawns get traded, we're gonna get a pass pawn. Okay, that would be, let's call it the first plan. The second plan would be going pawn to a4, and then sacrificing our pawn here, so that when he takes, we get this pass pawn over here. Okay, and the third plan would be to first take the pawn, and then go here, and then trade the pawns, and then create this pass pawn again. All right, so I want you guys to tell me in the chat, which plan do you think is better?
Wait, I think I know. I think it's the third plan. I think it's this one.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
the third plan.
Okay,
I
so
feel like
take your time, and
Not the
tell
third.
me, you can simply, yeah, tell me which one you believe is
The
best.
third plan is the best.
We want to do it separate because there's only one computer which actually has the chat.
Max, guess what? Look, if the pawn's
Oh,
here,
I guess you can, I guess in your case, you can just tell me.
it's in the box. And guess what? The king can move it.
Try to consider the square rule when you make this decision.
But what if the king moves here, going somewhat into the box? No, he doesn't.
And try to consider black's plan as well. Okay?
Goes in, then he goes out, then he goes in, then he goes out. So the pawn
And
will
that,
connect.
no, that is what causes the king thing to die. Can you just send a poll?
Oh no, I told you in the chat. You can put it in the chat. I think it's easier.
Oh,
No,
me
we can't put it in
and
the chat.
Tage disagree. That's why
Okay.
we can't put it in the chat. Me and Tage disagree.
And besides, even if we did agree, we can't put it in the chat. I'm
Yeah,
tapping
but
the chat.
it would be the same if I launch a poll. It would be the same.
Just double tap it.
So you guys can just tell me. So Mac, which plan do you like?
I like the third plan.
The third
The
plan.
same.
Okay, so you guys like to take the pawn first and go here. All right. And Pratiush also told me the third plan in the chat. And Tage?
I want the the second plan.
The
I feel
second.
like
So the
it's-
second would be this followed by this, right?
It's more quick and
It's not.
and
That's
it's
it.
immediately putting the king out of the box.
Okay.
Sage,
Okay.
And
but then
then,
you sacrifice this and you get 2 of them that might promote.
but if they get close, we can just use our king to get over there. If our king is somewhere else, it's not gonna be able to pull it off.
Yeah, but if you can't kill this because this will move down here.
Just stop.
All right. So I'm waiting still for Seek. Seek, your decision.
I do think it is. Seek. Hello? Anyone there?
Okay, so we're gonna analyze the three plans, and there's only one of them that really works. The other two are actually losing.
Which one is it?
What is it?
Yeah, I
Just
wanna
tell us.
see Seek's reply first. So Seek, I'm waiting for you. And everybody else.
Just a random number between 1, 2, or 3.
No, I mean not random, but the one that you liked so far.
Wait, I don't see a third option.
No, just write in the chat. Just tell me in the
That's
chat,
not over.
or just tell me
That's
like,
not over 3.
Ah,
If that's a random number, it's 1,000,002. That won't work.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
The millions of 2
I'm-
plant is
Jackson,
free for all.
Random checkmate us, Jack.
okay.
Pretend he answered 3.
So yeah, tell me. So
Pretend he
remember,
answered 3.
remember the first plan, A3 followed by B4 to create a pass pawn here. Second plan, play A4 followed by B4 to create a pass pawn here, but well, sacrificing the pawn. The third plan would be taking this pawn first, then going for this, and well, that way we create the pass pawn here without sacrificing anything. But it's a well, it's
Go for
almost
third.
none.
Please go for
We
third.
are sacrificing there.
It's-
Every
it would be
plant
a
has
trade,
a
right?
sacrifice.
If you don't
Mm.
go for third, I don't know what's gonna
Okay.
happen.
So, well, most of you guys like the third plan, and
Yeah.
probably because you are scared of something. That is that, well, if you go for the second plan, you're gonna give black 2 pass pawns here, and it's true that they look dangerous at first, but your king
They
is
aren't.
supposed to protect them. Okay, well, not to protect them, to stop them.
Yeah.
The problem with the third plan, guys, and the reason why it's wrong, is because after you go here, it's just too slow. Look at black's idea. Black's gonna do this. You're gonna do this, right? Black's gonna push his pawn. You create your pass pawn, okay. But look at black's pawn. It's a lot faster.
It's
You haven't
gonna
even
get
started
quicker.
with this. Right?
And
So
guess what?
exactly.
If black made it,
And now he's gonna
and look,
even cover
then you're
that square.
creating a death trap. You won't be able. You'll lose.
Right. So this is just winning for black, right? By the
Yeah.
way, the easiest way to win.
I told you so stuff.
Okay, we're gonna get there, so it's okay to make mistakes.
Black
But
the
it's important we learn
square.
from them.
Black the
So
square.
now, for example, it would be easier for black just to put the queen in front of the pawn, and now the king will just march to this side, and eventually the pawn will fall, and black will have an easy way. Okay, so that is pretty much the third plan. The problem with it is too slow. Black is about to do this, and he's gonna create a pass pawn
Yes, I knew
really
it was
fast.
slow.
Okay, now let's see the
The
other
second collect.
let's say the other one that is wrong first. That is the first one. The first one was also wrong. So that means that Tage got it right. So very good, Tage. You were the only one who got it right. So great. Okay, so A3. That is the first plan. What's wrong with it? Well, black takes, and when we
Again.
create the pass
It's
pawn,
the same exact mistake.
what is the problem now, guys? Why
Oh,
why does black win here?
because the
the
king
king-
is faster. The king is really fast.
Because the king can get in the box.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
king can get in the box. Exactly.
Okay, so here is where
And
the
then even
information of the
though
square
it
rule
gets-
helps you.
Out of the block, it gets back in.
Yeah, exactly. So that, well,
Oh,
it's
and I
always
just
gonna get
realized something actually.
inside. And
If it's not on the edge, and you're making a box, you're really making a box on both sides.
that's true. Yeah. But obviously it only makes sense to make the box towards the side where the king is in. Like
I mean,
if
yeah.
the king were
I
over
mean, if
here,
it's
then I guess you
this
can
way,
make a box this way. But yeah, it would not
but
be a
I
full
mean, if
box.
you're pretty much if you're in that row and you're black, you're gonna take it.
Yeah. So there is no need to make a box.
What
in
if the
that
king
case,
goes
right?
by the pawn side?
What do you mean? This king?
Oh yeah, right.
Well, the problem is black has two
Yeah,
plus pawns that
the
are ready
other
dangerous,
pawn
right?
will go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
basically
understand.
here black is winning because black is gonna be able to stop these pawns, while the white king is not gonna be able to stop these two pawns. Right? For
It's
example, we
gonna
can
end
try.
up like
And now you see that the white king is not gonna make it inside the pawn square, and black promotes. Right? So yeah, this is more or less what is going to happen here. All right, so finally, the right plan would be a4. When the king takes the pawn, we go b4, the pawn takes, and now we can first take a moment to bring our king a little bit closer to stop these pawns. And now we're gonna make it.
and guess what?
If we make the
Because
square,
the king
right,
is already 2 spaces away. It's
Exactly.
impossible for him to make it.
he's not gonna get inside, and he can try to push his
And
own
even
pawn.
if he goes like to the side, if he goes to the side, he just like over here, like
Mhm.
yeah, like over there. We can lose interest on the pawn for a second and just go up.
Yeah, he's never gonna make it inside, so therefore the pawn.
Never.
Okay. So
Never.
and here we see another detail at the end, that is that when both pawns try to promote, white promotes first, and black saying, "Oh yeah, I'm about to promote," but when he does, oh no, the queen takes. So this is a very nice detail that the queen, our pawn promotes and covers that square. So yeah, it's a
That's why
nice,
there's always a big X in the.
Okay, so well, this was the only winning idea, and it's very important. Also, we take this like additional step to make sure these pawns don't advance. If we try to advance the pawn too early, then it actually becomes risky because black's pawns are gonna get there a lot faster. So in this case, actually, black wins with this kind of a idea of sacrificing and then bringing the king. But well, that is a little bit off topic, but yeah, just wanted to show you that it's important to first take that precaution of stopping the pawns and then going for our own pawn to promote it. Okay, so let's see another example of this topic. So here we have a rook's, we have a rook's endgame where it's clear that white is ahead,
except for white has an extra pawn.
well, white has an extra
And rook.
Now they both have rooks.
I know. They both have rooks.
They both have rooks, of course.
Added.
So here, white is just trying to push his pawn, right? And trying to promote it. And if necessary, he's going to support it with a rook from behind. And it's going to be really hard for black to stop it, especially because his king is far away. So, well, there is one plan, though. One thing that black is about to do. So if we simply
I know
push
how to
the...
block it.
Let's just first think about this, guys. Let's first think of what happens if we simply push the pawn. All right.
The
What is
king's not gonna
black
make it
gonna
in time. The king ain't gonna make it.
No,
do? Yeah, but what can black try if we push the pawn right away?
No. Look. Side up, bam, bam, and then bam, bam. Look. Is he even close? No, he's 2 spaces away.
Is there any move for black that would be like that would make it hard for us to continue pushing or something, or a move that would be challenging for our plans?
Rook to g6.
Rook to g6. Well, that'll make sense, trying to stop the pawn. But if we simply, well, if he chooses a defense like this, a passive defense, we can support our pawn, and it's true that he can stop it for a while, but yeah, we're gonna bring the king, and it's probably gonna be an easy win because the rook is gonna be like just stopping the pawn, and then well, at some point we're gonna force it to leave. So that is not really, I mean, worrying for us.
Not really the plan for black.
I'm just gonna tell you here, guys. Black is about to do this, offering a trade of rooks. If we refuse, well, we're gonna lose this pawn, and there's also this potential fork. So yeah, for example, I don't know. Let's say we go all the way back, which wouldn't make much sense. Black can go to check, take the pawn. We can also go like this, but then he could take our pawn, and then well, the rook will come here, stop this guy. His king will come to support this pawn, and well, it's likely not going to be.
And guess what happens if we accept the trade? We have an open pawn on our hands.
Exactly. Now this is a pass pawn that is very, very fast, and our king is far away.
But it is the same speed as the white pawn, but farther from the king.
That is true. So what is going to happen is both sides promote, and that should be a draw, right? Because, well, there's queen versus queen, and this pawn is going to die. Right? Like, for example, after this, black can go like this. Take this pawn, and this is just a draw, right? Normally, this kind of endgames with a queen versus a queen are just drawn. Unless there is like a skew or something.
Yeah, like, or I don't know, like, oh yeah, like if it's, or if black makes a blunder, then like a real bad blunder, then I guess the pawn would promote.
Well, so yeah, this is, you just have to be somewhat careful. For example, if black takes the pawn, let's say white makes a check. If black goes here, well, that'll be a big blunder. Yeah. I see why.
Yep, skewer. Queen to
right?
D, queen D4, and there's nothing the black can do to stop it.
Queen D8 would be, yeah, and then that's.
Oh yeah, D8. Sorry, not D4. Why did I say D4? D4 would be a sucky.
I don't know, yeah.
Bruh. D4
it's a little bit hard to get.
D4 would be a sucky move. Can't even move there. I know. Why did I say that?
Okay, so yeah, I know you meant that. So.
But if you could, that'd be a sucker. Like whoever did that, black a sucker kill. No, like if someone was able to do that, and they did, and I was playing them, and I could actually say it, I would say this, sucker.
Okay, enough. Well, guys, so let's just go back, okay? So now we know what black is up to, right? What black is trying to do. How can white avoid that? Well, it's not so easy because if we move the rook away, he's still going to do the same thing and attack both of our pawns, right? However, white found one solution. He made this super clever move, and the only winning move, king C1. I think this move is really brilliant.
Because it's not a pin anymore.
Well,
how do you make the exclamation marks? Like
under the board, there is a thingy for symbols. So yeah.
Oh, you just double click.
Yeah. So the thing is that after this move, white is basically saying, well, I want to continue with my plans, but this time this move doesn't work anymore. Why doesn't it work, guys?
Because it's the rooks and the pawn comes, then the king will be able to get in the pawn square.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. British is right. So we trade the pawn. We trade the rooks, and when the pawn is becomes a pass pawn, we are ready to stop it just in time, right? Or here, it doesn't matter. And now our pawns are too much for this king to handle, right? Because we have two, and he cannot stop both.
There's only one king and nothing else.
He can get inside.
My teacher always
we can advance the 2 pawns one.
There's only one of her and 13 of us. She can't handle us all. In chess, that would be a checkmate.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
she would die.
All right, guys. So remember the square rule, very important technique, very important thing to remember. It's useful even in endgames where there are more pieces because you have to use it to decide when and how to trade your pieces. And if you want to create a pass pawn, you want it to be the farthest way possible from the enemy's king, so it is more likely to promote it later. Okay, so let's now talk about another concept, that is the key squares. For this one, I wanted to challenge you to tell the right result. What do you think would be the right result of this endgame? Will white win or will black make a draw? Assuming both
White.
players play perfect.
What? Because the no more
Pawns
close
going
blocks.
Back.
I don't care.
I know how to win.
Yo.
Okay, so you can just write win or draw in the chat. You can put it in the Lichess chat or the Zoom
Sir?
chat.
Yeah.
Sir, can you hear me?
Ah.
Yes, see.
Ah.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Gonna do this moment.
Can you hear Vian?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, what? What is
Can
it?
you hear Vian?
Vian? No, I don't see him.
No, he's here only. His video is up.
Sorry, what happened?
No, can you hear him? He has been talking, but I don't think you can hear him.
Drink their juice.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Tage, wait a
Can
second.
you hear Vian?
Sorry, can you, what do you say?
Can you hear him?
I don't know where he is. Is he there? I don't
Yeah,
see
he
him.
is there. Vian, why is your video?
Is he in the screen? He was in before.
He is here only. His video is not working.
Oh, okay.
But when he's talking, can you hear him?
Right now I can hear him. Yeah.
No, because he has been asking questions, but I don't think you heard him.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he was muted before. I don't know.
No, it was not mute. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
His video is not working. Yeah. But
Oh, all right.
he has been interacting, but I don't think you could hear him. I don't know what the problem was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, maybe someone else was talking or something. I didn't hear him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I saw a few times he was trying to interact, but he didn't get any response.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ian, come. What happened with the video?
All right, guys. So let's continue. So, well, I see Tage wrote
The
in the chat
video is
already.
not working.
I know, I'll try.
Okay. So what else? I mean, who else wants to answer here? What's gonna happen? White will win or black will make a draw?
I think black would win.
Black will win. Well.
No, sorry. I said white. I thought I said white. No,
Okay.
that was a complete accident. Sorry.
Yeah,
The
I
chess
get it. No worries.
table.
Okay. So well, both of you are right.
Talk loudly, Riya.
I got another.
Diabolical.
Okay. Yeah. So this time, if we follow the square rule, the pawn alone is not gonna make it. That is completely clear, right?
But with the king,
But the king can help. Okay. Now, how do we know if the king is like in time to help? Because also this king is gonna try to get in the way.
Closer.
Here there is this concept of key squares, okay, and that is another technique that is, I think, one of the most important
Key
techniques.
squares two. Key squares three.
What are the key squares? Well, whenever you're trying to decide if these endgames are winning or not, when you have only one pawn, you have to get your king on the well, I like to call it the T, right? So you make a like a capital T in your head, in your mind, starting from the square where the pawn is and going up. So if you look at these squares in the top of the T, those are the three key squares. If your king reaches one of them, that means you're winning. Theoretically, you're winning. If you play well, you're winning, as long as you don't make a big mistake. So yeah, well, that means that we just have to calculate whether or not we're going to make it there. Okay, and in this case, who's going to make it faster? White king or the black king? Well, they're the same, but white actually makes it. Let's just see. So the king comes, right? King comes, king here, king here, king here.
Inside. Oh, we can't make it
White's
inside
about
the
to go
team
here,
either.
right?
Yeah, but the king can't
Oh.
make it. We can too.
Black's gonna stop it. What guys?
And he can go into the T, but then he's letting.
Then
the
we
king go
move
in.
the pawn to d4.
We could, but if we push the pawn, then the T changes and it's gonna be even harder to get there with our king.
But
So
it's possible.
yeah. So to win this situation, guys, you need to use your king first and make another technique that is called, I think you guys know this,
Opposition.
opposition. Yes, good one. So now the king is gonna have to move to one side, either here or here, and we're gonna go to the
But
other side.
wherever the king moves, you have to move to the other square and make the T
That's true.
actually like.
Yep, that's correct. And after that, then we're gonna, for example, here,
Yeah.
we just need to make sure that we continue on the T as we advance, and the pawn will promote eventually. Let me just show you, for example, here. What should we do first? Should we push the pawn or move the king?
Push the pawn.
Move the king.
Push the pawn because he's
Move the
not
king.
Okay, so I see there's a disagreement there. So maybe Pratyush and Seek can.
Push the pawn.
No! Don't push me! Don't push the pawn!
Get the pawn. Push the pawn. What? You just said don't push the pawn. Push the pawn.
Push the king. Push.
Push the pawn.
Okay, so remember, whenever you push the pawn, the T changes. And now it's like this. Is your king inside? Nope. So he's gonna stop it. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful not to push the pawn. The most common reason why people make mistakes in this endgame is because they're too impatient and they want to move the pawn too fast, faster than they should. And it's better to just win space with the king, try to gain more space first. And when you're like advanced enough, then you can start advancing your pawn. Okay, so you use the king first, you bring the king forward, you continue. Now you can advance the pawn safely because the king is inside the, or well, it's in one of the squares of the T, right? The opposition here is secondary, but we are on the T, which means we're winning. We know we're winning. Now we can finally advance the pawn. And now, for example, if the king goes here, once again, we need to decide whether we push the pawn or use the king.
But this
King.
one, I think king.
King. Yeah.
Pawn. Pawn.
No, Mac.
King
King.
is the key square.
Always the king first, right? Whenever you're in doubt, the king first. Okay, because that is going to help you to gain more space so that when the pawn finally starts advancing, all the path is like clear and open for him. Okay, that is what you're trying to. Okay, so let's move on. Here,
King.
if it is white's turn, is
I
white
would
gonna
move
win?
the king. I would move the king. I would move the king.
Okay,
King, 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 king.
king where?
King, 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 king. King to e5. King, 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 king.
E5.
You will be glued to my back.
You guys agree?
Okay, no more Mac.
King, 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 king.
Okay, so here we should head for aim for the squares of the T, right? If I make the T like we did before, it's these three squares. So we need to get the king
King, king,
in one
king.
of them. Which one? Well, the one that he doesn't
No,
stop us.
I would move king
King
to
to d5.
King to
Into
d5.
D5,
But-
right? That way
yeah,
we are sure that we're gonna get to one of the squares.
Yeah.
At least uno.
So well, he can try to stop us, but we're gonna get him.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
I got my new armrest.
So what?
Okay, no more Mac. No more. No more silly.
Okay. Okay, guys. So here, it's actually easier from now. So, for example, the king moves. We're gonna continue using the king, and now we can continue like advancing even further. And finally, we can advance the pawn. Notice that I'm advancing the pawn at a moment where I know that my king is already in a good position, right? So it's on the tee, so it's
but
winning.
the king can't
So
kill
we
you
can
because
continue,
you're
right?
king.
Exactly. So now he can't kill you, and the pawn will promote.
Oh,
Okay.
I think
on the
that's
yellow
checkmate. I think
spot.
that's checkmate.
Huh? It's on the yellow.
Oh well,
yeah.
the game will continue, but
Down.
I didn't. It was there. When
You
I
move down,
came.
he moves down. You move down, he moves down. You move your king down, he moves wherever. You move
yeah.
your
So
queen
we
down, he
start
moves down.
making like a T, like sorry, an L like this, and then we
Yeah,
imitate
that
the moves,
You're
right? So
basically copy the king whenever you're in an L. King versus queen and king.
right. When
And
he's
then you
trapped,
just trap him in there.
right. Once he's trapped, we don't do the same because that
Don't
would be
push it
stalemate,
too
right?
far. That's checkmate.
That's
No,
a
that's
stalemate, right? So that would be a big
Do a
mistake.
stalemate. Do a
This point,
stalemate. Do a stalemate.
So wait, so that means we're gonna
count.
bring the king, and
you
then
bring the king over, and then
right?
that's check.
Do a stalemate. Do a stalemate. Do a stalemate.
Why?
Stalemate.
Better.
Stop.
Nah, stalemate is not fun, you know, especially not when you're winning like this. So well,
But it's better. Like it's better, you know.
last technique for today,
Or you
guys.
should always do a stalemate or a gale.
All right, guys, let's stop, okay?
Always do a stalemate.
I don't think so. Well, so it's the last one, guys. The last technique we're gonna see for now, and then we're gonna go to playing. Today's practice is gonna be playing games, okay? So, Vian, please. Okay, so here we're gonna talk about how to create pass pawns. And this is like a very nice concept of a pawn break. What is a pawn break? Well, basically when we sacrifice a pawn to try, or maybe more than one pawn, with the goal of creating a pass pawn that will be closer to promote and will promote. Okay, if we do it correctly, then it should be like leading to promoting one pawn. In this case, we see that white pawns are more advanced, which has one good thing and one bad thing, like a good side and a downside. The good thing is that whenever we create a pass pawn, it's going to be faster and it's going to promote faster than any of the black pawns. The problem with it is that if we don't manage to successfully advance the pawns, then this king is going to come all the way and take us. So we need to do something with our pawns before it's too late. And here I'm just going to show you the right method to do it. We have to sacrifice the pawn on the middle. Okay, we're going to sacrifice.
I just realized if we were dealing with key squares, the B7 square would be the ultimate key square.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But well, this time it's clear that, I mean, it's not in a matter of a king's rate, because if we start like racing with our king, it's clear that the black king is gonna take our pawns faster than us. So yeah, that is not offering any hope. So we should try to use our pawns before black stops it. So well, we start with black now has a choice. He can, of course, he's gonna take the pawn. He can take with either pawn.
It doesn't really matter which.
Well, it doesn't really matter that much. We're gonna promote one pawn anyways. Let's just see. So let's imagine he takes like this.
How?
Now we want to promote this pawn, right? Because it's a little bit more open, but there's still someone in the way.
Push the C pawn.
We need to push the C pawn, right? That would be a deflection. We're distracting this pawn, saying, "Hey, pawn, get out of the way." Once he goes away, we continue pushing and promote.
But a really smart move would to go use the black pawn to capture A5, and because that white pawn is trapped.
Oh, you mean here?
Might as well save the lunch for later.
Oh well, he can do that,
But
but
then
then
he can. Oh right.
Yeah, white
No
doesn't.
matter what, you're gonna get a pawn thrown.
Exactly, and that's why it's such a powerful tactic. Okay, such a powerful idea. And if
What
black
if
does
it
it,
take
yeah. So if it takes with the other pawn, Vian,
do
it's
the other
If
side?
you just move the pawn to a6, and
That's
then
correct.
the other pawn takes, then you just promote.
Right. It's the same thing in the other side. Now, of
Yeah.
course, we
yeah.
need to make sure that the black skin is not gonna make it inside the square.
It's not.
It's really far away. But I'm telling you this because in other situations it might be closer. Okay, it might be like a closer call. So in this case, it's very clear that it's not gonna happen. Okay.
But then, yeah.
So what happens if we have this situation, guys? Now it's the same situation, but black had made this pawn move.
Wait, let me think. Thinking mode, engine mode, engine mode.
That's bad for black.
It should.
How do we ensure we create a pass pawn?
We take.
We take?
No.
No, it's gonna take.
No, taking is a bad idea. Maybe you should push your c5 pawn to c6.
Mhm.
6, and then after the pawn takes, if it doesn't just take it promote, just after the pawn takes, you move your pawn to b6, and then after the other pawn takes, if it doesn't, you just promote again, but then you take and then you push.
Yeah, that works. By the way, it's not the only way. We can simply take this pawn too and promote like this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that also works, okay? But yeah, here there's more than one way to make it at the end. Now, what is the right way to stop the pawns? For example, let's imagine that white makes a move like this and doesn't take advantage of his opportunity. What should black do to stop the pawns? Well, he should always aim for a triangle setup, okay? Creating a triangle. If you make a triangle like this, basically you ensure that white doesn't create a pass pawn. For example, if white takes, black takes back, and the pawns are stopping each other. If white pushes, then the pawns are just blocked. Yeah.
Every
They
pawn.
just block each other.
Every pawn or
So
pawn.
basically, this is the right way to stop the pawn. Okay, and same in the previous situation. If we go back to the beginning, if white makes a random move, like not really taking advantage of his opportunity, then the best move for black would be this, okay? Creating the same triangle formation where the pawns cannot make it. Basically, whenever white takes like this, black's gonna take back like this, and then that's gonna be a draw.
That he's gonna take, and then you're gonna take, and then both of the pawns are blocked.
Yeah, well, in this case, maybe actually,
And then it's
white
a waste
wins
of
anyways,
king.
but
So
yeah.
king.
Okay, in this case, white would actually win anyways, but yeah, it's not the point. Okay, what I
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to
not
show
the
you is
point.
how to stop the pawns.